What if the reason you feel stuck is not because you're lazy, not because you lack talent, but because your mind has quietly turned against you? What if the biggest enemy of your future isn't the world, the economy, your past, or other people, but the voice inside your own head? This is not a success story about becoming rich overnight. This is a story about something far more powerful. This is the story of a man who stopped running from himself and discovered that real motivation begins in the mirror. From the outside, Ethan Walker looked fine. He had a stable job, a normal apartment, a predictable routine. People around him described him as doing okay. But inside, Ethan was exhausted. Not the kind of exhaustion sleep fixes, not the kind coffee helps. It was mental exhaustion. Psychologists call it cognitive overload, a silent condition where the mind never rests, even when the body does. Every morning, Ethan woke up with a tight chest. Before his feet touched the floor, his phone was already in his hand. Notifications, emails, messages, and then social media. Achievement after achievement. People his age buying homes, starting companies, traveling the world, smiling like they had life figured out. And without realizing it, his brain whispered the same sentence every day. Why not you? Psychology tells us the brain doesn't ask questions to find answers. It asks questions to confirm fears. And Ethan's fear was simple. I'm falling behind. Comparison didn't attack Ethan loudly. It worked quietly. A scroll here, a glance there. Every time he saw someone succeed, his brain didn't say, "Good for them." It said, "That should have been you." This is called the comparison trap, one of the most destructive psychological patterns of the modern age. The brain compares your raw life to someone else's edited highlights, and then punishes you for losing a game you were never meant to play. Slowly, Ethan stopped feeling proud of small wins. Nothing felt enough. Even rest felt like guilt. Even peace felt undeserved. And the worst part? No one could see it. Because mental pain doesn't bleed, it doesn't scream, it whispers. One afternoon at work, Ethan made a small mistake. Not a disaster, not a big failure, just a mistake. His manager didn't yell, didn't scold him. He just looked at him. That look lasted 2 seconds, but it echoed for hours. That night, Ethan sat alone in his apartment, staring at his phone, scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Nothing felt interesting anymore. Nothing felt meaningful. Psychology calls this emotional numbness, a defense mechanism when the brain is overwhelmed. Without knowing why, Ethan put on his jacket and stepped outside. No destination, no plan, just movement. He found himself standing in front of a small bookstore, old, quiet, almost forgotten. Inside, the air smelled like paper and time. Behind the counter sat an old man, calm, unhurried, eyes steady like someone who had made peace with life. Ethan didn't plan to speak, but the words slipped out. "Do you have a book that can fix the mind?" The old man smiled. The mind doesn't need fixing, it needs understanding. He handed Ethan a thin book. The title read, "The Mirror Test." Ethan frowned. "What's it about?" The old man replied, "It's about the person you've been avoiding." At home, Ethan opened the book. No long theories, no motivational speeches, just one instruction. Every day, stand in front of a mirror for 2 minutes. Look into your own eyes. Say nothing. That was it. No affirmations, no goals, no hype. Ethan laughed. This couldn't be motivation, but he tried. Day 1 felt awkward. He smiled nervously. Day 2 felt uncomfortable. He looked away. Day 3, his chest tightened. By day 5, something broke. For the first time in years, Ethan really looked at himself. Not his body, Not his appearance, his eyes. And what he saw wasn't weakness, it was exhaustion. Psychology teaches that humans avoid mirrors, not because of vanity, but because mirrors remove distractions, and without distractions, truth appears. That night, Ethan realized something painful. He wasn't angry at life, he was disappointed in himself. The book explained something no one had ever told him. Only those who move forward fall. Those who never move stay comfortable and stuck. Self-compassion replaced self-punishment, and that changed everything. 6 months later, Ethan wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, but he was free. He no longer feared failure, he no longer chased validation, he no longer abandoned himself. He could stand in front of a mirror and say, "I'm not perfect, but I'm trying." Psychology calls this self-alignment, when your actions match your values, and that is where real motivation lives. If you're listening to this and feel tired, lost, behind, listen carefully. You are not broken, you are not late, you are not weak, you are simply disconnected from yourself. Tonight, stand in front of a mirror for 2 minutes, say nothing, because the greatest motivation in your life is waiting for you there.